Hey, good evening, my friends. How are you? Welcome to the very first Wednesday Night Live for 2025. We took a couple of Wednesday nights off because 2 weeks ago was Christmas Day, and I wasn't going to do a Wednesday Night Live on Christmas Day. And last week was New Year's Day, and I wasn't going to do a Wednesday Night Live on New Year's Day. But here we are for the very first Wednesday Night Live of 2025. And I thought, let's do a little bit of a surprise. Oh, when I do this, I forgot. When I do this, I get a thumbs up. So with us so far this evening, Sean is with us. Sean, good evening. How are you, buddy? Randy, nice to have you along with us. Cliff, always a pleasure. Where am I tonight? I am at the Suburban Collection Showplace. I'm here to kind of promote a show that kicks off tomorrow. Also, hey Ace, how you doing, buddy? Happy New Year to you, my friend. Also, I'm here to give you your first look at the 2025 lineup of Angler Quest boats. Now, I've seen these before. I've posted some video before, but this show, this ultimate fishing show in Detroit at the Suburban Collection Showplace, will be the very first time that you listening, you watching, can have a chance to come down and see these boats in person. I'm going to be talking with Mr. Angler Quest himself, Brad Dupuie, Angler Quest, Quest, in person. But first, let me turn this thing around. And it always takes a little bit of a minute, so forgive me as I do this. Okay, here's what we're looking at. Here are the Angler Quest boats. There's Mr. Angler Quest, Brad Dupuie. We're going to be talking with him. But let's talk to Ben Nielsen of ShowSpan. Ben, how are you doing this evening?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm good, but you're always fantastic.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm definitely a glass half full kind of guy.
Let's turn around and get an Angler Quest in the background here.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
So this show kicks off the 2025 show season.
It does. Yeah, yeah. We're super excited for it. Obviously, we've been working on it for the last year. So excited to see it come to fruition. And we're opening up tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Where is it?
Suburban Collection Showplace, Novi, Michigan.
Just off 96.
Yeah, just off.
Real easy to find.
Yeah, super easy. You can see it from 96.
What time, details, prices, all that good stuff?
Yep. So again, Thursday we open at 1 o'clock, go to 8 o'clock. Friday we're open noon to 8. Saturday 10 to 8. Sunday 10 to 5. Admission's $12 for adults. Children age 5 to 16, I believe it is. Yep. Are $5, and 5 and under are free.
Excellent.
And obviously, all those details, ultimatefishingshow.com.
And this kicks off your show season. I mean, there's another one coming up in the same place in just a few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we come back over here for Outdoorama, which we're super excited about always. But the fishing show is just that. It's all about fishing. Outdoorama is hunting and fishing and kind of the great outdoors in general. So that show is definitely a little stronger on the hunting side. The fishing show is definitely all about fishing.
And the big show, the granddaddy at the end of the season in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, Sports Show Grand Rapids is, obviously the one we've been doing the longest. It's in its 81st year this year, which is incredible.
It's crazy.
And we're obviously looking super forward to that one. Again, really dictated by the time of year. It's hunting and fishing, but a little bit more fishing than it is hunting, just because everybody's got cabin fever and we're about ready to get open water and everybody's excited to get out and fish.
Again, all the details. There are different websites, but if you go to showspan.com, that's showspan.com, you can find everything and find what you're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything is there. All of these shows are going to be under that showspan.com umbrella.
Now, it's quiet in here tonight because the show hasn't started. It doesn't start till tomorrow.
Yet. And, if you were here an hour ago, you'd have heard a lot of banging going on, because everybody was setting up displays and cleaning boats and getting everything ready. But the movement has actually ended for the day. So very quiet, almost kind of eerie quiet.
Ben Nielsen of ShowSpan, I appreciate you letting us get in here tonight, buddy.
Absolutely.
All right. Have a great show.
Yes. Thank you very much.
All right. Have a good night as well.
Yes.
All right. That's Ben Nielsen of ShowSpan. I'm going to turn this camera around here a little bit. What this is right here, this is, you know this boat by now. I've been talking about this boat for years, right? This is Angler Quest, Quest, the 2025 edition. And if you talk to me at all, that my buddy, Brad Dupuie, Mr. Angler Quest. Brad, congrats, man. You got it. You pulled it all together.
Ah, thanks. I appreciate it. A lot of people behind the scenes. I'm just one guy, but you're one of them. That's a big help as well. And glad to be here. Excited, more excited than ever to showcase the brand new 2025 Angler Quest.
And the cool thing about this show, I was thinking about this on the way down. This is literally the first time that people other than inside can see these boats in person.
That's right. This is going to be here for the public. We have the Heart and Soul. We've got the Pro Troll. We got a Family Fish. We got a Panfish. And I'm excited to be able to talk Angler Quest, show people all the new attributes of the new boats and all the changes we've done to improve upon what was already an awesome platform.
It was already, and I want to make sure to point this out because I see Craig Plowman on here. I see Sean Hodges. These guys are Angler Quest owners. This boat did not ruin their boat. It didn't make their boats any less valuable, did it?
No, the older Angler Quests are great vessels. They surely are. I just took it upon myself to, make some tweaks as we go forward because you always hear of things, want to have rod holders in the binary walls and different things. So as a result, I was able to address all that with myself and my team that we're working with. And man, they're turning out great. And they're incredible at how well they perform. I'm just shocked.
What is this behind us? This is the Pro Troll.
This is an 8526 Pro Troll. It's got a front sport fish extension. The bread and
Let's
butter.
walk back here.
Yeah, the bread and butter of the line. I call this the flagship of.
Oh, it is the flagship. I think so too.
And one thing people will notice right away are kind of the chamfered corners versus the bigger radiuses, and it has a nice, robust utilitarian feel. Also, what this does for us, these front wall sections, there's a plate in back, and these are injected with foam so that when you're on big water, you take a wave over the front. You're not going to run nearly as much of a risk at putting any kind of denting in that front wall set. So kind of a cool little feature that's there that we addressed.
You say if you're on big water, I mean, really, this boat is designed for big water.
It is designed for big water. It's really set up for a trolling fishery, and that's where people are utilizing them. Saginaw Bay, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, and it is set up and designed for the big water.
Let's walk down here a little bit.
Sure.
And we'll jump up in this boat too, but you can't talk Angler Quest, Brad, without talking about this thing right here. This is, what do we call it? Rocket launcher, radar arch. I mean, this is what sets the Pro Troll. And when people see an Angler Quest on the water, they see this and they go, oh yeah, Angler Quest.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is a track stack tower. Radar arch is what we call it. It's got the rocket launchers up top and adjustables on the vertical. This also has a tilt down feature for being able to go under bridges. When you're trailering, this will tilt down into a position where it's not as tall, intrusively tall. So a great identifying feature of the Pro Troll.
This standard now, the tilt down arch?
Standard. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's walk around to the back. As long as we're on the outside here, we actually are in the Freeway Sports Center booth, right? Freeway, a big partner of yours.
Oh yeah. Freeway Sports has always been a huge partner with me and do a great job. And they always do a great job at showcasing the boats, selling the boats, and taking care of customers. So they're right over by Lake Ultima. So, yep, they've got the latest and greatest right here.
And when you're dealing with Freeway, you're probably going to see a Suzuki on the back.
It is. It is. Suzuki is really a motor that's really coming up and really becoming bigger and bigger player as we move forward. And I personally think they're great engines, and I support Suzuki 110%.
Let's walk around here a little bit. Johnny Bowler's with us. Good evening, Johnny. How you doing, buddy? What we got here tonight is the Pro Troll.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And then looks like a family fish next to it.
Yes, it is a family fish next to it. And one thing you'll notice right away too, they come standard with a kicker motor mount on the back. So that is a standard feature for 2025 to be able to hang a kicker motor and keep some of the main running hours off your big engine.
Now that's new for this year, right?
It is. It is. It is a standard feature. And if a person wants to deduct that and not have that we can leave it off as well.
So I, for the last several years, have been trolling with my big motor, getting it into the mode where I can dial in the RPMs. I haven't had I don't feel a need for a kicker, although it would be a tremendous safety factor.
Yeah, it would. A lot of people like that peace of mind. I'm with you. I use the big motor as well, but if you're fishing colder water scenarios where we're really trying to get down nice and slow and consistent, sometimes that is a nice route. So it all depends on the person.
All right, let's continue to walk down.
Yeah.
Johnny Bowler has fished with me out of my angler quest. By the way, this is let's see, how many do you have out this year?
Well, there's 12 boats in the 2025 lineup. These particular boats next to the 25s are 24s. So they are the older product. Jim has some of those to try to show those and move those boats as well. So
If we're looking at 2025, though, is there one here? Is the panfish version here?
it is. It is.
Let's walk around. I got to see
Absolutely.
this.
It's got some great features that I'd really like to point out. We have a track system.
It looks like, I've said this before, it looks like a mini angler quest.
Yeah,
It is a mini angler quest.
it is. It is. This is really.
I'm going to turn
designed-
around just so I can put the boat behind you, Brad.
This is really designed for the inland lake application. This is a nice hardcore little fishing boat for those inland bodies of water. And there's a little groove on the inside of this extrusion that allows us to quickly and robustly put rod holders, Trax Tech product, and whatever a person wants. So that is a really, really cool feature. So
As I look in here, I mean, this is a fishing boat. Not as big as the big Pro Troll, but honestly, this this is going to fill a niche.
absolutely. And I have had this boat in the past, and it was very successful, and it really filled a nice niche for that inland, body of water. There are dealers that are not really in the big water areas, and inland lakes are their thing. So, like I said, the little track system that's in the extrusion is great. Got a little lockable rod storage here as well, which is just a little feature, but a great feature. Nice little live well here as well. So, there's amenities on here for what the person needs to do their inland lake angling.
Well, I look at a dealership like Linwood Beach. They're on Saginaw Bay. They're going to sell the big boats. A lot of your dealers, some of your dealers are on the smaller, the inland areas.
Absolutely. Freeway Sports is a perfect example. Not only that, but there's a lot of electric only lakes and different applications where that isn't the boat that is for that scenario. So Jim has had a lot of success. Freeway's had a lot of success with the 18-footers down there.
All right, I'm going to turn the camera around. Let's jump up into what? The Pro Troll, the family fish. You decide, but I'm going to turn the camera around here. Settings camera. And this is kind of awkward, and I apologize. There's the front camera. Okay, folks are looking at me now, which, listen, I have got to apologize for that when you're looking at me. Just a reminder, my name is Mike Avery, and this is something I've been doing for a long time. This is called Wednesday Night Live, and this is the first Wednesday Night Live of 2025. Now, we did this in partnership with the folks at ShowSpan, in partnership with my partner and friend Brad Dupuie, to show you the 2025 lineup of Angler Quest boats. But the cool thing is, all right, several cool things, right? We are at the Ultimate Fishing Show, which kicks off tomorrow. But the cool thing is, this is your chance now to come down to this show and see in person the boats we've been talking about for a long, long time, and they're in production now. They're in production because this guy right here, and let me turn it around. This guy right here, Brad Dupuie, Mr. Angler Quest, has made it happen. And this is the 2025 Pro Troll.
It is. This is a 24, 26 Pro Troll, and bigger and better, and with features that are also very similar to what we've had in the past too. When you start talking helm stand, captain seat, things of that nature.
We got a lot of people with us tonight. Otto's with us, Adam's with us, Dan's with us, Jeff's with us. And I'm not bringing your comments up on the air, on the screen, just because I want to get through this. Let's take a look at what this is, Brad. What are we looking at?
Well, this is the epitome of the line. This is the flagship boat for Angler Quest. Of course, we've got our 72-inch benches up front. We've got little speaker boxes up front, which is a new feature.
That's new. I haven't seen those.
To help push that sound in a rearward versus cross-contaminating itself sound-wise. So kind of a nice little feature. We have laybacks here that have,
those are so comfortable.
they are.
And this is a nice little touch right here.
Heck yeah, that's why not? Put that brand on there and let people see it. And it's a great boat and a great brand. And hey, I like it.
This right here is a nice feature. Some people don't run this. I always put this out. This is a bimini that extends to the front of the boat. It gets you out of the wind, out of the sun, and out of the rain. I love it. But you don't run yours, do you?
Oh, I run mine.
Oh, do you?
I keep mine up all year. I love my bimini because over the years, your face and your ears, you take a lot of sun, and to be able to get out of that is awesome. And this year, this is umbrella material. This is heavy duty stuff. That is a 10-year material. So, a boat like this should have good high-end materials, and that is a good example of it. And this bimini will actually extend very far front on the benches, and it snaps to the rear of the tower.
Oh,
so
first thing I do is I put my bimini up.
I leave it up all year. I love it.
Before we walk to the back, let's look at the helm. This is sweet. Now, this looks very similar to what I'm used to. Any real design changes, or did you go what was already known and good?
We went with what we already knew and what was good. One thing that is a little bit of a change for this year, this is a digital throttle and ship. So there's one digital gauge on it. The boats will come standard with gauges versus channeling that through the graph. This is the same design as what I've used in the past. Accommodates 12-inch electronics, and I like this design. I think it's a great design.
I do too. It's very comfortable, very functional.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have people up here. They can stand and hang on to this and talk to the captain. Very comfortable seats, right?
Absolutely. Another little feature that most people won't really realize, but those wall braces are Super Duty mega wall braces. They are very, very robust, very strong, just to add a little more support to the wall system. So a lot of little things like that to really help push the product forward.
As I look at the back of this now, the working end of this boat, this is where I see something different. What is this?
There are massive changes back here. This workstation is above and beyond times 10 of any workstation I've ever had in an Angler Quest. This baby here is black powder coated diamond plate, very, very strong. It's there because, there's a lot of action back here, a lot of opportunity for kicking and different things like that. If you're salmon bouncing around in the bottom of the boat. So this here was an incredible change. And not only that diamond plate and having a stronger material, we have front access now. So our VSR battery switch is located right there on the side, the housing cranker. And then it also has a fair amount of storage in it that you really didn't realize was there with the access being in there.
I didn't know I missed it, but I would miss it if I didn't have it.
Yeah, that's a great part.
Storage right here too, right?
Great
Yeah.
boards, yep. Offshore boards would be a perfect place to put them right there.
Steve Wyndham, our friend from MUCC, says he looks forward to seeing these in person this weekend.
Yes, awesome. And I hope Steve comes out and fishes as well.
Oh, he will, because we're going to get him out here this summer. I guarantee it.
Awesome.
This is looking a little bit different. I mean, this is a binary wall. Oh man, that's solid.
It is. We have really put some beef to that wall to make sure it's good and structurally sound and strong as ever. Now, one thing that I take for granted that, most people, I've heard this request so much, is people want rod holders to be stored in the walls because they're trailing their boat or they're in a marina that is not secure. Linwood Beach Marina is such a secure place. I leave my stuff right out.
Yeah, and I don't think of it where I'm at, but I can see why this is a big deal.
Yeah, it is. And you can fit 5 9-foot rods per side in this binary wall. So you'll notice a little more width. These panels back here are lockable. So that allows this to be lockable and, help prevent theft. So there's a lockable panel up front and one in the rear. So really an awesome change. And, man, I think people are going to be really happy with it.
Steve says, tell me where you are and I'll be there and I'll keep an eye on Brad for the podcast in February. You're going to be on
That's
the
right.
MUCC
Yeah,
podcast?
I'm looking forward to that.
Excellent.
Talking with Steve and the different things that we can talk about.
Excellent. This is just so cool. I mean, this screams quality. It screams fishing. Now this,
Another live well, which we did have in the later designs of Angler Quest. So once again, another live well. You can never have too many as a
No.
hardcore fisherman. All this stuff is all machined right in there on a CNC type router. So this material has a gray exterior, and once you start actually eating into it, you see the color. So no stickers. This is all machined right in the actual material.
pliers, screwdriver, whatever. Drink holders, wash down.
Yes, standard wash down, and most everything that you see on this boat that we're talking about is all standard items.
Is it really?
Yep. So the high pressure wash down, I use mine, and I'm sure you do as
All the
well,
time.
Mike. You
All the
can't
time.
lean over to rinse your
No,
hands off.
no,
So
no.
This gets used all the time.
One of these things that I didn't know I needed until I fished with it, and now I can't fish without it.
That's right. That's
Wow.
right. So yeah, even the plier holders are around the rim, the edge of it, so they're not, getting into the area where the batteries are stored and where the electronics are. So that's just a little change. And this is another thing too. This kind of matches the geometry of the boat with the angles. This heavy duty, super duty ski tow here. That is a
Ooh, that is
robust
solid.
sucker. And that is a great change. And another thing that people probably don't realize too is we have dual doors on the back of the boat. So
I actually didn't notice it either.
yeah, which is a great feature, especially if you have a kicker on.
Yeah.
To open that up and get out there to access that's a really, really good feature.
That is nice. Very nice. It's obvious, Brad, when you look at this, that a lot of thought has gone into this. Built by fishermen for fishermen. We've talked about that. Now, I see Wilson Boats here, Wilson Marine. Look at, but you're at the Freeway booth, right?
We are in the Freeway booth right in the corner, right by Lake Ultima. Yes. And there's a good sampling of brand new 25 Angler Quests. And I'm looking forward to showing people and talking about the boats with people.
Dan says we can use the washdown to get the crawler dirt out of a boat. Not out of my boat, not out of the Avery boat. You can't. Scott Hand is with us as well. Scott, a good friend of ours, and Scott, a guy who's been running Angler Quest.
Scott's a great guy, and he's been an Angler Quest owner for years. And Scott was in our photo shoot, him and his grandson, and it was great to have Scott around. And I look forward to seeing Scott more and more.
When I look over here, now what is this? This is, well, that's a family fish. If
It is.
we don't need to jump over there because we can see it from here, Brad, but walk me through this boat.
So the big difference here which is similar to what it has been in the past, is it has a much more substantial furniture group up front, a little more on the pontoon side, a little less room in the back, but you'll also notice that there's hatches and tilt out tackle on this one. And if a person doesn't prefer the rod holder systems, you can option to the hatches. So that is an option for people if they want it. So
Boy, that is
yeah.
that is clean and really sharp. And for some people, a lot of people, this might be the way to go.
It is. They are more focused on the family side of things. And, maybe, they're on lakes where they're doing more tubing and skiing and things like that. And I want to mention something as well. That helm stand is a traditional sit-down style console. You can option up to the Pro Troll style helm that can replace that. If a person likes that, and some people like that, some don't. It all depends on the person.
If you took that boat, the family fish, which is set up with this new workstation, and if you put, this is great. I'm not knocking this, but if you took this boat and put this center console in here, man, it's hard to beat, huh?
It's a great option. You're a little higher, so you're looking over the couches, over the people that are sitting there. Ability to put larger electronics within, the dash itself. So that's a great option. And the Family Fish is a great boat. It has a lot of the similar, things that are on the Pro Troll, the fish stations, the furniture set is the same style of furniture. The walls in the back, the binary walls are all similar. So That's a great boat. It all depends on what a person is looking to do.
I just got a text from a buddy of mine, Gus. He said the audio's a little low. So Brad, talk nice. I'm yelling, but you're not used to it. You talk nice and loud as well, okay?
No problem.
Okay. So when we look here, you've got a new boat, right? This is the inland boat, the panfish version.
Yep.
This is the Pro Troll. That's the family fish. It's pretty exciting, isn't it?
It is. It is. There are a total of 12 models. There's 2 Pro Trolls, 2 family fishes, and the rest are panfish models from 14, 16, and 18 foot. But I also want to emphasize too, the guys that I work with are craftsmen. They are great builders. And if somebody wants something a little different, we want to do some custom stuff, we're going to do that. So it isn't just here it is, this is what you can buy, take it or leave it. You know, there's versatility. We're a small manufacturer. So
Let's go up front and sit
Sure.
and talk a little bit. And I'll continue to look at this boat here. This is just absolutely beautiful. That I'm going to turn this camera around for just a second here and do a little spiel. You know how this works, Brad. We've done this for a long, long time. This is Mr. Angler Quest, Brad Dupuie, but I'm going to turn the camera around. And it's always kind of a hassle to do this. So front camera. Okay, there I am. I apologize. Oh my God, that's a lot of Avery right there, isn't it? My name is Mike Avery. This is Wednesday Night Live. This is something we've been doing for a long, long time now. I love to do the Wednesday Night Lives. What? On the water? Can we plan on doing that this spring, Brad?
absolutely. Absolutely.
So, okay, so we're at the ultimate, what is going to be the ultimate fishing show. It starts tomorrow at the Novi Suburban Collection Show Place.
Got it. Yep.
Starts tomorrow afternoon and it runs and through Sunday. I'm here with Brad Dupuie. I'm going to turn this thing back around again. I just wanted to set the stage to give Brad a little break too, where he's not on camera. But I'll turn it back around now. And turn it back to the back camera. Okay, that's it's a little bit too wide. Let me get forgive me, I apologize. Okay, Brad, let's talk a little bit about this. That's too wide. Let me get a little bit different shot on this.
And you thought the Avery face was something. Now you got this.
No, you look great, my friend. You look absolutely great. There we go. It didn't make a difference. Okay, so let's talk a little bit, Brad. You're making boats now. They're in production.
They are. We have capacity. We have a little bit of a backlog, and the opportunity to get in one is not going to be a problem. So we have actually built 19 boats so far. So we're chugging along. Like I said, I'm affiliated to a group that the people we're as a team, man, we got a good team of guys, and we are building some incredible stuff.
There's a lot of people on with us tonight. I'll say hi to Joe. I'll say hi to Jason. Somebody said the Pro Troll is his favorite. Brad Dupuie. Listen, that's the boat that put you on the market, isn't it?
It is, and it's my favorite as well. That is, well, honestly, the very first Angler Quest that was in a show was with Linwood Beach Marina at this show. 14-ish, 15-ish. So
I was wondering when that was. I was trying to think of that.
that was the very first show that this boat was in. So and it was a Pro Troll, quite a bit different than what the design is now.
It looked different than this boat.
It sure did. So over the years and using them and fishing them and taking input from people, yourself, everybody out there, there's evolution to the product. And this year's evolution is above and beyond any model year change I've ever seen and been with. So it's incredible to see. It's exciting. My passion, as you know, is super strong at Angler Quest, and I'll tell you, it is larger than ever now. I'll tell you.
So you're building boats. This is the 2025 model. You're getting them out to the dealers. We're at the Freeway dealers boat here, but you've got dealers in the works, right? You've got dealers out there.
We do. They are scattered throughout the Michigan and some of the surrounding states. There's some guys in New York. We're continuing to grow that. That is on the grow. It's in the early stages. So that is on the build. I will mention one of the next steps on the website is to put a dealer locator on there. The website is fairly far along. It's got definition of the boats. It's got spec sheets and a link to the brochure. We actually have a brochure now. We're actually going to go to print shortly and print some brochures. Somebody, if they want to look at the brochure, it's a simple brochure, but it looks great. We had a photo shoot in late October, and man, we got some great images. And I'll tell you that brochure and the website, it is not compromised. It's as beautiful as ever.
Rich says he might have to trade his 2018 Angler Quest for an upgrade. Hey, it's possible. There's a process for doing it. There's a way to do this. Tim says, what size motor comes with the Pro Troll?
Well, it depends on what a person wants. It depends on the size as well. If it is a 22-foot boat, a 150 will do the job. When you start talking 24, you're looking at a 200, 225 is the optimum engine, in my opinion. On a big boat like this, a 26-footer, I would strongly recommend a 250 or a 300.
Now, this has a Suzuki, right, on it?
does.
Because it comes from Freeway. If you went to, say, a Linwood Beach or something, you might put a Merc on it. What?
That's right. They are a Mercury dealer, and it would have a Merc on their boats as well. You're correct. It would be a Merc on a Linwood Beach boat. Yep. And we can, I'm currently a Suzuki OEM. I'm very shortly, I'll be a Mercury, and I'm also going to probably carry Honda as well. So that opportunity will exist for all the motor brands. It's not just necessarily one engine choice.
Beautiful. Brad, I'm gonna take one more look around here and just show people what this is. This is tomorrow. This show opens. It's the ultimate fishing show in Detroit at the Suburban Collection Showplace. What's the top speed with that 250, Brad? Somebody's asking.
26 would probably put you in the lower 40s. The first one that we built, which is this boat, not this identical
Right.
boat, but the same model, we put a 300 digital throttle and shift Suzuki, and we got a little over 47 miles an hour, which is really pretty crazy because the chassis has been really beefed up on the new models with hat channels and thick tubes and lots of baffling, and there's a little more weight there.
I was going to say, this feels different. It's a different. Well, you can't tell it till you get in the water. That's where I'm really going to notice it, right?
Well, what is really crazy is that extra added weight did not hurt performance. Our performance on these boats is better than ever, and I think it's because there's just minimal flex, very smooth feeling, very noticeable, very, very surprising. I thought that little extra added weight would lose a mile an hour or something, but in fact, we gained speed.
Tim says, can you put a 24-volt trolling motor on these boats?
Oh, yeah, for sure. 36 volts are usually the standard. 60-inch shaft or a 57 Garmin Force are typically the norms, but usually it's a 36 volt.
The smaller boat, I mean, you could put a smaller trolling motor on that one, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's
right?
actually a 12 volt.
A 12 volt on that one. And this is, we're looking over at the Panfish version. This is new for 2025. They're back in the lineup. A lot of people are going to look at this, but the bigger boats, you're going to look at the bigger trolling motors, right?
Yeah, I think typically a 36 volt you're going to want. A lot of people are starting to go to lithium.
Yeah.
They're expensive, but they last so much longer than a lead acid battery. You can really justify that extra cost and the longevity of your battery system.
Dan says they've come a long way since the 80s when he was fishing a pontoon. The old pontoons and these new Angler Quests, it's a different story.
It is a different animal. You hear the phrase, it's not grandpa's pontoon anymore, and that is a fact. And not even just an Angler Quest, all the triples that are out there, they're above and beyond what they used to be.
Does the Suzuki, Aaron's asking if the Suzuki comes with that Pro Troll mode that I'm used to in the Merc.
It does. Yeah, there I should say there is a troll control gauge, which is just a matter of hitting a button up or down. When you start talking 300 Suzuki, it is a standard digital throttle and shift. So as a result,
you can bump up your RPM,
which is a great thing to do. I strongly advise people to do that.
It's so cool. Autopilot.
That is a great feature as well. And I wouldn't have one without it.
So it is available.
Oh yeah, it's more going to be at dealer level.
Okay.
And that's where that would be installed. There will be a time where we'll be installing them at the plant, but when you start talking trolling,
One of those things, once you get used to them, you can't fish without them, right?
During COVID, I was waiting on one and I fished for a couple months without one and I could not get that autopilot fast enough. That is a great, great thing.
Oh, excellent. I'm going to look around here again. This is a Pro Troll model. This is the new workstation, which is slick as can be. I'll come over here to the back of the workstation for the family fish. This is also a model that comes from the old lineup, but it's in the 2025 lineup. And this over here is a panfish version, which is pretty cool. Somebody says, let me turn this around here one last time to take a look at me, which I don't like to do, but we got to do it once in a while. Okay. Cliff is saying, what model will I be running this season? I don't know, Brad, maybe Pro Troll Family Fish? What do you think?
24, 26 Pro Troll is what
Pro Troll?
But that's ultimately up to you.
Well, I like the Pro Troll. That's a beautiful boat. You can't go wrong with either one.
You
Right?
can't. You can't. They're both great boats. They both have their advantages. It depends on, you know, what you're looking to do.
Mhm.
So I could see that being an option for you, the family fish with your cruises up and down the
Yeah,
river and
yeah.
so on and so forth. That definitely pack a good crowd on that. It has a little more of a traditional feel. I have a feeling though, if you're considering that, you're going to upgrade that home. I'm pretty confident.
There's a name you recognize, Gene.
Yep, I know Gene.
Yeah.
He's very well. Great guy for sure.
All right, so Brad, let's wrap this thing up tonight. I am so proud of you for what you have done. You have come such a long way. I mean, you are the man, Mr. Angler Quest, Brad Dupuie, right? I mean, you don't like to say that, but you're the man.
Well, hey, it's such a great vessel to get a hold of the brand for me personally and to be able to drive that boat and drive that ship in the direction that I wanted is huge. And it's such a great boat that so many people love them. I love them, obviously. And boy, we're going to continue to make them bigger and better than ever before.
The website, anglerquestpontoons.com, QUEST.
Yep. That is up and running. There's also a brochure that is up there, a digital brochure. I will have some physical copies very, very soon here. So the information on the boats available is up on the website. Yep.
Excellent, Brad. Have a good show. All right.
Thank you.
All right. That's going to wrap up this edition of Wednesday Night Live. My name is Mike Avery. I'm here at the Suburban Collection Showplace the night before the show opens. This actually opens tomorrow. Come on down. It opens tomorrow afternoon. Come on down and check this out. Check out the entire show. But if you're going to come here, I got to tell you what, man, you got to come out to the Freeway booth. You got to check out this new 2025 lineup of the Angler Quest boats. Congrats to Mr. Angler Quest, Brad Dupuie. All right. The website, MikeAveryOutdoors.com. My email address is Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. If you have any questions about this, don't hesitate to reach out. Send me an email to Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. I will put you in touch with Brad. Brad is on the show this weekend as well. What else before I let you go? Oh, one big topic of discussion in the show this week was the proposed solar panel farm up near Gaylord. That thing, it's not going to happen because of all the public outcry. The company that wanted to partner and put in the solar panel farm said, we don't want to touch it. They pulled the plug. That's not going to happen. More on that in the show this weekend. All right, my friends, have a great week. Come on down and see this. Thanks for joining me on this very first edition of Wednesday Night Live for 2025. There's going to be a lot more. It's going to be a great year, my friends. Appreciate you joining us. Have a good night.